All right. So, Joey and I connected on Facebook. I don't know how long ago, but we've been following each other, kind of like running with it, with each other and inspiring each other. She inspires me so big. And like last month, she reached out to me and asked me to do a live with her, and like out of both of our comfort zone, it was like, oh, okay, we'll do it. But last month, watching Joey show up for her team was incredible, and she had a goal and like I'll let her share her story and everything, but she like her energy that she has is just incredible. And her success that she had last month with her team will tell you that. And just like her story overall will show you how much that um, Joey really is digging in and winning with her team. So I will let Joey share her story and kind of um, where she's at right now.
Thank you. Thank you. So, my name is Joey, and I am a senior Ruby ambassador. I'm excited to be here. And I'm just going to start. I'm married to my husband of will be 23 years this year, I think. I have a son whose birthday is today. He turned 20, and then I have a 14-year-old daughter. Um, I was a Plexus not good customer for about 3 years. I would order because I loved like small business and helping my friends. And if there was a sale and she needed somebody to order something, I just liked the pink drink and I would just drink it here and there. So I wasn't seeing benefits really because I was not using anything properly. So always hold your VIPs close to your heart, no matter how much they order. So I was not a good customer. And then I actually had a call with one of my upline, and she was like, "Why don't you just try to share it? Like, I feel like you'd be really great at this." So November of, I started to use the products consistently, I will say, in September, and I'll backtrack later, of 2023. So September and October, I started to feel good on the products, saw the value. And she stayed in contact with me. We got on the phone. She asked me to share, which is what we all tell everybody to do, right? Like pop up a post, do the shout out, let's get on the phone. Well, that's what she did. And I, November, started to share. And by December 31st, I earned the trip to Punta Cana. So, like, I totally knocked my own socks off. um, I went fast start Ruby when I started. So I like fast tracked everything. Everything was great. One of my great friends started with me. She went fast start gold. So we were able to go to gold school in Philadelphia together, where I first met Bree, which was amazing. So everything was just going great. Um, then a lot of life happened in there. So it sounds fabulous, right? I earned the trip. I swept the contest to the Vegas convention. I just got back. I did do the Bahamas trip. So all of these things like just sound fantastic, right? And I'm a go-getter and I go after the goals. I earn the incentives. I do the things, but I don't just want it. I work really hard for it. And when I backtrack, you're going to realize that when hard things happen, it's up to you to decide what you're going to do with that. Um, August of 2023, my son had a migraine and I took him to the emergency room and they found a large bleeding mass in his brain. So he underwent brain surgery in August of 2023 and they did a resection. I spent a week in the hospital by his side. I didn't come home. I didn't shower. I didn't care about anything. But in that moment, in that whole week, I started to research a ton of stuff on my phone and like my health and what can I do because I have to show up as a better me. I have a 14-year-old daughter. I have a husband who like works really hard, but like we don't know what is coming out of the season with my son. And everything was coming back to gut health. Like I struggled with anxiety, and clearly in this moment, it was even worse. I struggled with migraines. I was on monthly injections that were costing upwards of $600 for one injection a month that I was paying for out of pocket until my deductible was met. Um, so that's when it clicked and I started to use my products consistently. That's when my friend who was my upline would reach out to me because she stayed my friend. She built that relationship even when I was a crappy customer. And I say that with my whole heart because there's a lot of people that we feel like maybe like they're not consistent, so they're not as valuable. That was me. And she always showed up for me. She checked in on my family, and that's what meant the most. So when she asked for that phone call, I was like, why not? So I got on the phone with her because I was feeling good in 2 months, you guys, after 3 years of not. And so in my hardest season, I said, yes, I'm going to try to share this. And you know why? It's because I could have made an excuse. I could have crawled in a hole. I could have said, no, I'm dealing with this with my son. We're navigating a really hard time, but I wanted more for myself. I wanted more for my family. And I wanted a positive place to turn to, even if that was just getting into my phone for a few minutes. If I could help somebody else when I was struggling, because there's still some days after dealing with this kind of stuff, I don't want to get out of bed. But you know what? Somebody will message me and tell me how great they're feeling today. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is why we do what we do. Um, so fast forward, all that season, things got better. My son was doing well. Um, and then I swept the contest for Vegas, right? Well, my son, who is trying to just be a kid, goes to a graduation party and breaks his collarbone and needs surgery. The day before our planned trip to Florida was his scheduled surgery. And our Florida trip was to see my mother and father-in-law because they moved there. The night before my son's surgery, my father-in-law called and my mother-in-law was in the hospital. So that shifted a whole bunch. I didn't want to tell him my son was having surgery. We're like, we're still just coming. So recovery from surgery, literally that day, we're in the car driving 20 some hours to Florida because we're not cleared to fly yet. So there's so much happening. So that fell on convention. So I didn't get to go to Punta Cana because of the follow-ups for the brain surgery, and then convention. I swept the contest, and I didn't get to go because we went to Florida. My mother-in-law passed away. Um, and I just kept hustling for my goals and putting that negative focus in the people who deserved it, and that's the people I'm bringing on board and wanting to help them. So, like I said, it all sounded great, and I'm earning all these things and doing these things, but I wanted it so bad, but I wanted it to change my life. And even though I couldn't go on the trips to change my life, it was changing my life. Um, fast forward again, and things are going good, and I'm getting on track. And like I said, I fast start Ruby. I re-ranked Ruby in November of 2024, which was, great. Getting my numbers back. We're up and we're down, and things were great. And December, my son, day before a follow-up, he gets MRI scans every 3 months. The day before we were ready to leave the area to go to that appointment, he came home and he got sick. And then something was really off, and I started asking questions. So we took him to the local hospital here, and he was medevaced. He needed to undergo a second brain surgery in less than a year and a half. So that was 2 weeks before Christmas, and just like shattered. I mean, like it's hard. It's still hard. So the last time I hit Ruby was November 2024. My son is doing great. He's doing well. Praise God. And he made it through the surgery. It was rocky. It was hard. We were in the hospital longer. But I pulled it together, and I was like, you know what? Like, obviously December was not Ruby month for me, right? January was not a Ruby month for me, but I was not going to give up on my goals and like the focus and the people who I was helping. And because I'm feeling good, because in that time frame, you guys, I also got off of my anxiety medication and did not need to go back to it in December. Like that to me is huge. I literally was like, I'm going to have to call the doctor. I did not have to call the doctor. I have not taken a migraine injection since last March. So I'm 1 year migraine free and migraine prescription free. So like I know that I'm winning in those aspects. So I know that I'm changing lives and helping other people. So that's where you just have to dig deep and know that there's something bigger than what's going on. Even though, like I said, like my stuff is stuff that like will shut you down. There were days I was shut down. But that's when you dig into your upline and whoever invited you and, follow the systems, because that's really the lifeline of my business. So January, still a little rocky, right? Like we're coming back off of things. February, I'm going to the flippin' Bahamas, right? Like I'm going on this trip. So I was actually able to take my husband and my daughter on this trip. My son did not go. He's not a traveler, but again, he's doing well. February, I was like, okay, like we're doing okay. March, we were getting back to work. Okay. Like we're going to hit Ruby again. We're going to get to work. So I just started doing some things and getting out of my comfort zone. I asked Ashley for the to do an interview live on Facebook, which I never do. Just really digging in and focusing on my team and just plugging away at everything I possibly could. And then I find out I'm in the running for Silver Stars, and I'm like, what? Right? And then they say, well, you get this call with like corporate, and they're gonna talk you through like coach you a little bit. So that call, you guys, was March 25th, and I was still not at Ruby Points. And I said to my husband, it's okay. Like I'm in the running and this feels good and I'm doing really well. And it's out of my hands. The best that I can do is the best that I will do. And we'll see what happens. And if I don't hit Silver Stars, like I know I'm just that close, I'll try again next month. Well, in 5 days, my numbers went from not Ruby Points to beyond senior Ruby Points in 5 days. And I did earn Silver Stars. And I had surgery on March 31st. So, and right after surgery, I was back to work. So, all these things, I could have just been like, nope, having surgery today. It's the end of the month. It is what it is. There were people on my team winning. There were people on my team adding one. There were people on my team, earning prizes. And I was like, no, I am showing up. And what you also can't tell is that I got nerve damage from my surgery. So I can't even feel my face. But you just keep showing up. So I want to talk about building those silvers and how that you can win. Because this month just really rocked my world. I mean, I'm being dead serious. The lives that have been changed, incredible. So the tips that I have, or about like creating silvers and just diving in and going after, is you can want it all you want. Like I wanted to be Ruby every single hard month that I had because I was Ruby before, but I could not put the work in, or I chose not to put the work in. One of the two have happened in every single one of those months. So if you have real things happening, I'm not saying that they won't, and it sometimes you just can't show up. But what happened was, I had systems in place and I had people plugged in with my upline and my sponsor. So those three-way chats, that's not just to connect at the beginning. It's when life happens and I can't show up, they're comfortable with my community and they're comfortable with my sponsor. So when she checks in and she plugs in, they're not falling off, because a lot of people just really rely on us for that accountability. And if we don't show up, where are they going to go? Because that was me. Like I was the girl that didn't stay consistent on my products because I didn't tap into the community and I didn't really have that support. And the person that I'm talking about that helps me and plugs in with me is actually not my sponsor and not my sponsor's sponsor. It's the next level up. And that's the person who believed in me and works with me closely. And so you just find your person and you plug in with them, and that makes the difference. We really encourage adding one, but I'll tell you, don't keep trying to reinvent the wheel and stop making things harder than it needs to be. You probably have somebody who's a VIP right now who can go silver tomorrow if you put the focus there, if you build the belief, if you put the value there. I had 5 level 1 silvers last month, and 3 of those were customers from my very first month ever in the company. And it's tapping back into them and letting them know, these are the incentives and this is the cash you can get. Why don't you like do this, and literally just asking for help. Ask them, can you do a shout out for me? The biggest thing that catapulted my business was asking for shout outs, and they didn't have to be a customer. I come up with and I just create these shout outs, and like you're being authentic. You don't have to say you're using these products if you're not. Like I don't want you to lie. I want you to tell people what I introduced you to or what you've seen in me, and just put that up to help me. So when they help you, if 7 people are interested, that's a silver for you. And now you just totally change their mind because there's money in front of their face, and they can get their products covered if money was what was holding them back. But I could have, like I said, I could have wanted it. You can want it. You can all show up every single day and say you want this. But if you're not willing to put in the work, even when days and things are hard, And it doesn't have to be as traumatic as my story. There's still hard days, for all of us. But you just have to make the decision and you just have to show up because I'm telling you, it's possible. You are worth it. Even in your hardest season, you can absolutely show up in a way that benefits yourself and helps you. Because I will tell you, all of the prizes, all of the trips, all of the things that I earned that I didn't get to go to still literally changed my life. Just kept me pushing and plugging in because I didn't say like, oh, I earned Kunta Kanta and I can't go. Like, no, like my family is important and that's why I show up. Did it stink? Well, heck yeah. But you know what? Like I did that, so I know I can do it again. And I did earn another trip and I did get to take that with my family. So if you want these things, they're all there and yours for the taking. And it is so totally possible, you guys, because when I said to my husband, I can try again next month, like right before my eyes, no, like I couldn't try again next month. And not, I mean, what a terrible problem to have, right? But I was like, wow. So then I'm like, really like, okay, well, now we just wait and see, and we see what happens. But I will tell you that you all deserve it. And if anybody is so deserving, Ash deserves silver stars. So, what I would say is, I challenge you all, like add one more and then plug away with that person. Get one person to do this with you. Focus on the accountability and getting back to the basics of the systems and just checking in with them, starting with, they order their products, they do the shout out, you get on the phone. That's my system. Like that's how I want to say simple it is. It's not hard and it's duplicatable because all of that is like the longest part is the call and that's 10 minutes and you're teaching them a new system. And you get to know more about them. People are going to say way more on the phone than they're going to say in Messenger. You're going to learn a lot more about them. I can tell you so many things I've learned about people the last month. But the calls are so much quicker. If you have somebody on the fence, get on the phone. But I really, truly encourage you, like adding three is going to change your life. And it starts with three. But if you don't put the focus in and plug away at the people that you already have, it's going to be so much harder. So I definitely say build the relationships with who you have, ask for shout out posts. And I don't know what else to tell you.
Mm, that
But
was
I mean,
amazing.
if you want more from me, if you want another question, like if you want to ask me something particular I didn't touch on because I'm totally a rambler, I'm here for that. But
Yeah, I didn't even know
I
like
can't
all
do
of your
scripts. So
story and how much we like really connected. But like, oh, it's so good. And like, really, you're just doing the things we all have, but you want it and you're working for it. You're not just wishing it would happen. And I know like last month it was the 31st and you had surgery and I had messaged you because you had posted in your story that you were like 12 orders away or something. And you're like, yep, going home from surgery now and then back to work. So like you
yeah,
didn't have any excuses and you had all the reasons to just like throw in the towel however many times. And like it's just incredible to see your energy and showing up for your team and for your family. So, and congrats on Senior Ruby and
thank you.
Silver Stars, and you're running for Emerald this month, and you're showing up in your stories, and it's just so
We're just
awesome.
going for it. And I always say, just go for it because why not? Like ask
Mhm.
yourself, like, why not? Because I'm like, well, last month I was really just trying to get to Ruby numbers, but I was like selling myself short apparently. And I will tell you, nothing magical happened. I didn't do anything different with my systems or how I do things. I think I showed up with a different energy and focused all the same thing, like the same things that we're not reinventing the wheel.
Right.
Don't make it harder than it needs to be. Um, but there
Yeah, I
was no
think you're, whoop,
magic
sorry.
sauce.
Yeah. And I think you're a true testament. Like Bree's been saying it for the last like 2 months, like energy attracts and just your energy and like your team is attracted to that and they want that energy and they're sharing it too. So like it's
Energy is contagious. If I'm walking around tired all the time, like who wants to join me? Yeah, even the
Right.
days I'm tired, and it's not to say that you won't have tired days, or like I said, there's days that I literally just, some things hit me. Like I truly have like PTSD and some trauma from the things we've been through. I can talk about it. Like right now, but tomorrow, if somebody asks me a question, I might bawl my eyes out. But it, it's all part of my story. And like I said, is I could have curled up. And in those moments, I could have been like, well, forget my health. Like I need to only take care of him and only focus on him. And I feel like we do that a lot with people in our lives where we put ourselves, on the back burner. And exactly in that moment, I feel like people are like, how did you get through that? Like, how did you do that? Like, how are you focusing on you when you're doing that? And it's, I was just like, because I knew that the only way I was going to make it through was to focus on making sure I could show up as like the best version of myself. And it sounds cliche, but literally when you're in those moments and like the lowest of low, you have no other option. And I feel like that kind of like transpires into my business where I'm just like, this is what I'm doing and I'm helping people and I have to show up for them because I started, and I won't give up
Yeah.
on somebody else. So I'll keep showing up for me.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone has any questions. I didn't see any in the chat, but you can always put them in our group chat and I can always ask Joey too or anything like that. But thank you so much, Joey.
You're
I don't
welcome.
think
Thank you
anyone
for
else.
having me. Thank you
Bree.
for having me.
Yes. You go in
Appreciate it.
Emerald.
We're going. We're
Yeah,
going. Really, I think, I don't know. The last update was 220 orders to go. So
I
if anybody
saw
wants to
that.
keep track,
You got this. Thank you
sounds
so
crazy, but
much.
we're doing it. So because why not, right?
Right. Why not? Why
You're
not you?
welcome. I hope to see all silvers popping.
Thanks, Joey.
You're welcome.
Bye, guys.